The secret reason you procrastinate. Do you ever notice how you always avoid doing that one thing you said you would do? You tell yourself, oh, I'll just start in 5 minutes or I'll do it tomorrow. But those 5 minutes or doing it tomorrow turns into a week, maybe even a month, maybe even a year. Maybe you're waiting to get ready. You're waiting for the right amount of energy, but the right amount of energy never comes. And you find yourself always getting ready. But the truth is, deep down, you know you're not getting ready, you're just avoiding doing what you know you should do. And it might even be an easy task, yet it's so easy just to avoid that small bit of discomfort. And in this video, I'm here to tell you it's not laziness, it's something deeper. The good news is, once you uncover this part of you, which is feeling this heaviness, a lot of laziness goes away and you find yourself taking action easily. And why more willpower and discipline never seem to fix it. And I'm going to show you how to finally access that part of you which has been blocking all of this action, this secret inner tension that seems to be blocking everything that you want to do. Because really, procrastination isn't the problem. It's a protection mechanism. It's something we don't want to face, which is lying deeper within us. And when you see what you're trying to avoid just being slightly uncomfortable on, when you realize what you're trying to protect yourself from, that's when everything shifts. And the good news is that once you make this small inner shift, everything starts to fall into place. A lot of the time we sit there staring at the thing we know we need to do, or it's just this thing hanging in the background in our minds. We know we can do it. We know that we can easily do it, and yet we still don't. It might just be making one phone call, or Googling something, or using ChatGPT to find out something. It might be this one small task that seems to haunt us for weeks. Maybe it's a collection of tasks, and that's why we feel so stuck. We feel overwhelmed because it's all these small things we don't know where to start. And when we get that feeling, it's almost like there's a wall inside our chest, and this causes us to not be able to focus, not be able to move at all. And then you start to self-attack. You start saying, what's wrong with me? Why can't I do this? These are such simple tasks. And then you push through. You may have a couple of weeks where you're just all action, blazing, going for it, doing everything, and then you crash hard. And I'm here to talk about why this happens and how to stop this from happening so that you are a lot smoother and a lot more consistent in everything that you do. Because I promise you that when you make a small shift in how you see this, a lot changes. And this is exactly what happened to me. I used to be a hardcore procrastinator, but when I realized what that internal block actually was, I found I let go a lot more. I found I had a lot more energy. I was able to make videos like this consistently, and everything really changed. And it was only just a few things which helped me understand this. Part 1, the hidden war inside you. So let's say a part of you wants to move forward, to finally start that project, go to the gym, clean your apartment, call an old friend, call a relative you haven't spoken to for a long time. But another part of you wants to stay comfortable. It's not necessarily the pain of doing it, but it's the anticipation of the pain of doing it. And this is something that we all kind of know. So then what happens? It's not conscious. We then find ourselves distracted. We doom scrolling, or we're snacking, or we're going out and doing things that we know we shouldn't be doing because we're avoiding doing what we know we should be doing. When you sit down to do something and actually start one of these projects, we know it's not just the resistance. It's actually another entity inside of you, another part of you, another whole sub-personality with feelings and fears and discomforts that it really doesn't feel safe if it tries to attempt cleaning the apartment. So why is that? Why does this part of you react in such a way? Now, when we come to understand this part of us, we soon learn that it has its reasons for not wanting to attempt to put energy into something. Maybe this part of you learn that if it does put energy into something and it doesn't work out, then it will feel very hurt. Maybe it learned that pushing forward leads to rejection or disappointment. Maybe it learned that it got punished if it tried to do something right. Maybe it got punished for not understanding or not knowing. So now that when you go to sit down and focus on something, this sub-personality, this part says, we really shouldn't go there. Maybe you should doom scroll or snack or go for a walk or go out clubbing or doing something destructive. It will feed you with these ideas because all it wants is to not feel discomfort. So this is a big realization. You may think that these are just thoughts that are coming from feeling uncomfortable, but they're literally coming from different parts of you. Like I said, different sub-personalities. One wants progress and the other one wants protection. And that's what creates this internal tug of war. Guys, if you're enjoying this type of content and you really want to get to the bottom of what's causing this internal resistance within you, this internal tug of war, these parts of you that protect you all the time, that cause you to distract, procrastinate, then like and subscribe to my channel. Anyway, back to the video. The part of you that's causing this procrastination is producing these feelings of fear or the anticipation of fear, where another part of you is like, no, we need to go for this. Then maybe another part of you and shames you for not taking action on something that's seemingly so easy. And because we have all of these different parts of us with different motivations and different fears, it feels like we're just at war with ourselves. We can't focus. And then we just get easily distracted, because easily distracted means not feeling anything. These parts are all shifting constantly. One takes over, you lose focus. Another takes over, then you start feeling guilty and self-attacking. And every shift that's happening is literally the emergence of a new personality. Sometimes you feel like you're in the zone, and sometimes you feel like you can't do anything. Part 2, why willpower never works. So what happens then is we self-attack, like I said, and then we believe that if we just push through with willpower and discipline, then we'll get somewhere. When really all we're doing is we're creating this elastic effect inside of us. You think, or you get taught, especially by YouTube videos, motivational videos, that if you just willpower or push through, eventually this part of you that's resisting will give in and break down. You think if you just force yourself harder, eventually you'll get a breakthrough. But here's the truth. You can't bully a part of you into trust. And you can't punish yourself into progress. Because really this part of you, this subpersonality, isn't lacking motivation, it's just very scared. It learned a long time ago that progress equals pain, movement equals pain, movement towards what you want to do leads to rejection somehow. And it's giving you these feelings because it anticipates this rejection. So every time you push through, it will just pull back harder. That's what creates this elastic effect. Part 3, understanding the protector. Understanding this part of you. So once again, this part of you did learn that if it puts in the effort that maybe something bad will happen. So therefore it feels like it needs to protect you. It will give you that immediate relief, that temporary relief, by suggesting we have time tomorrow. It'll be better tomorrow. We'll have more energy tomorrow. It will work out better tomorrow. So it just delays doing it today. That's the essence of procrastination. But as we all know, tomorrow never comes. Because you're not dealing with time, you're dealing with past trauma. Maybe you learn as a child that nothing you ever do is good enough. That if you tried and failed, you'd be judged and punished. So what does our mind, or this part of us, learn? It learns that if we fully try, we should be very careful. That the safest option is to wait, to make sure that we have enough energy, to make sure that everything's perfect, to make sure that we don't fail. And therefore, as a result of this, we never fully try. We're scared to fully try. Part 4, the shift that changes everything. Here's the paradox of all of this. The moment you start to try and fight your procrastination, the stronger it gets. But the moment you start to realize that this is a subpersonality, that it has its wants, its needs, its reasons for you not to want to do something, it starts to loosen its grip. So the first thing to do is to understand where this resistance is coming from. And also realizing and understanding that awareness is the answer. There is nothing beyond awareness. Because when you have awareness, again, this part of you will loosen its grip. Next time you catch yourself putting something off, just sit with yourself and ask yourself, what are you protecting me from? And just sit and wait and see where is that tension in your body. You can ask this voice and see what comes up. Don't think of anything, but just see what comes up. What will happen if you don't give me this resistance? And just sit and wait, see what comes up. And maybe you'll be surprised about what comes up. It might not even be fear of failure. It might be fear of success. It might be feeling like you can't handle success. See what comes up. It might be now that people will expect more of you, more of yourself. You'll expect more of yourself. Maybe the anticipation of that success, maybe just that alone is putting you off. But you don't know until you make these unconscious motivations conscious. And it isn't until we do that, then we can actually act anyways. And the most important thing to understand about this protector part is it's just doing its best to keep you safe. It doesn't have any evil intentions, although it probably is causing a lot of misery in your life because you can't do the thing that you actually wanted to do. But once this part of you feels heard, feels understood, and is actually just seen and listened to, then it starts to relax. The very act of just sitting with that discomfort without judging it and just being with it. And this part will then stop giving this energy to try and protect you all the time. It won't give you so much discomfort. It's almost like you're giving this part of you evidence that you can handle it. And that's all from the very act of just sitting in that discomfort, even if it's just for a few seconds. For example, let's take now, I'm procrastinating on cleaning my kitchen. So when I sit with that discomfort, what am I really avoiding? Well, maybe I won't be very good at cleaning the kitchen. Maybe there's something better to do, something that's going to make me more productive. Maybe I don't have the energy. Maybe the very act of cleaning the kitchen and being with myself will remind me of other things that I need to do, other things that I'm avoiding. So the very act of the simple act of cleaning the kitchen might lead to that, so I avoid cleaning the kitchen. Or I clean the kitchen and I have to have a podcast on, so I'm more productive. Or I have to be listening to music. And I'm never really there cleaning the kitchen. I'm there just distracting or avoiding what's really going on inside. So you can start to see the power of this. You can start to see how powerful it is to just be with this tension and what it leads to. Sorry to stop the video for 1 second. If you really want to work with me, I highly recommend it. It's a very effective way to get stuck into that part of you that's causing all of this resistance. Just a couple of questions. One session is actually very powerful, but if you want to do coaching with me in the future, then I recommend to book a free 1 hour call with me. We get into those unconscious motivations that is so much more effective when a coach does this with you. And I really recommend to actually book a call with me. We'll work together and we'll get stuck in. Anyway, back to the video. Part 5, the moment you reconnect. So again, real progress doesn't come from force. It comes from integration, from helping every single part of you trust you to move forward. And all that is being with this in silence, in stillness, and just feeling. If we're constantly rejecting these parts of us, they feel unwanted. They'll be constantly giving you excuses and feelings of resistance. Then when you stop labeling yourself as lazy, as undisciplined, as unmotivated, and start understanding these inner intentions and these inner secret subconscious motivations, you will start to unlock something very powerful inside of you. Momentum without resistance. Now there may still be some resistance, but it won't be overwhelming that it will stop you from taking action. Because really all procrastination is the anticipation of this negative emotion, not the action itself. It's the anticipation. And all that is this unconscious drive to not feel something. Some warning system inside of you that's telling you we shouldn't be taking the next step because it will make us feel unsafe. Now none of this is happening conscious again. All of this is happening unconsciously. But when we dig a little bit deeper, we sit with ourselves, all of this will come bubbling up, and then we're much more likely to be able to handle it. And when you start making peace with all of these parts of you that have these hidden motivations, that's when the fun begins. That's when you stop fighting yourself. That's when you start to live again. Final transformation. So you may have spent years beating yourself up for not being able to finalize things, push through on things, stay consistent with things. But the truth is you were never behind. You were just waiting for all the lights to be green, the moment when you would stop fighting yourself. When this internal battle that's going on in your mind becomes peaceful, that will never happen unless you understand what I've been saying in this video. So now hopefully you start to understand that procrastination is just this anticipation of feeling uncomfortable, that you'll start to actually go a lot easier on yourself and you won't stop shaming these parts of you that are just trying to keep you safe. Once you start to do that, you'll start to notice that you'll build momentum in a lot of things that you do. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like this content, please like, subscribe, and comment below if this has helped you. Anyway, check out this next video here. It's amazing. It will help you with this internal resistance especially. So see you in the next video. Thank you guys. Goodbye.